Side B begins with Boogie Pilgrim, another jazzy style song with a bit of gospel in it. Elton sings and rather laments about how he reads the newspapers every day about constant crime going on in the streets. So he must have been reading The Sun. But anyways, he goes on to say how much he feels like being a boogie pilgrim. A pilgrim meaning someone who journeys to a certain particular place, be it for religious reasons, personal reasons, or otherwise. And he'd rather get together on a little jive talk, which is a style of dance made popular with swing music back in the 40s and 50s. The chorus itself is sung with this kind of falsetto in it, similar to something out of Bee Gees or Sister Sisters. It kind of adds to the gospel vibes to it. Plus, with the reference to pilgrims and of course crimes like sinners and all that, and part way through there is a guitar bit which does add to the flavor of this song. It's kind of something I would call gospel rock fusion. Honestly, it's one of the more it's another unique song from Elton John's songs, and it's one of the more interesting songs from this album alone so far. Next is Cage the Songbird. Mostly acoustic in nature, the song's actually a tribute to Edith Piaf, a French singer who was also quite popular back in the 40s and 50s, before passing away in 1963. I haven't actually heard or listened to any of her songs before, but if this song was any indication, I might actually check them out sometime soon. On its own, though, this song is very mellow and bittersweet. The music does kind of does seem to kind of fit being a tribute to a recently passed singer, and the lyrics themselves are very poetic, if not a bit flowery at times. They're very likely about Edith herself, similar to how Candle in the Wind was a tribute to Marilyn Monroe. The chorus itself compares her to various birds like eagles, hawks, and songbirds. It addresses how she may be caged and trapped by many people, but they can't make her sing, and they'll have to clip her wings, and in the end, while she may soar like an eagle when she flies, she'll eventually dive and die like she actually had. So, with that kind of context, this does have this kind of tragedy to it, almost like a fallen from grace, or like some kind of sadness to it. It's not the saddest song Elton's ever made, but it certainly is pretty up there, especially being about an actual person. Then there's Crazy Water, as in a crazy madman across the water? Huh? Huh? Get it? Because Madman Across the Water was an Elton John album? Never mind. Anyways, another disco-y song of the album. This seems to be about Elton spending some time on a beach and kind of enjoying himself up to the sunset before going on a fishing boat and being taken by crazy waters on a Monday morning. Oddly specific, but okay. Actually, though, this could be an allegory for being on life on the road, constantly touring and whatnot, as a result, leaving behind family and home and friends. At the same time, though, he admits that while this kind of lifestyle is all around crazy, like the waters he sings about here, it's also very fun, it's also very exciting, and it's worth making a living and being rewarded for all the hard effort that's been put into being on a tour, setting up live stages and playing music for crowds, especially when it's music that people really love. And all in all, this is another really good dancey song that's really worth dancing to. Although I will say, I have been coming across a lot of songs that seem to be self-aware and are about being on tours. It's probably a coincidence, I don't know. Anyways, the funky, groovy vibe of this continues with the last song of side B, Shoulder Holster. A very groovy track that tells the story of a simple girl named Dolly Summers. Yes, that's apparently her name. And how she had everything she ever wanted in her life. How she's lived this big, happy life full of fortune and whatnot, until she is being cheated and betrayed by some blackjack holster named Candy Floss. Yes, again, that is his name apparently. And so, with a gun in a holster, she drives on a Mustang in a search for this person across the country. But when she actually does face him again, she then decides to spare him and return back home alone. Early on, the lyrics do seem to warn the character about putting out his lights, warning how the law may be about and she may never know it. I guess it's kind of like a subconscious part of her mind or whatnot, which is, I gotta say, is kind of a clever approach to an otherwise very goofy kind of song about a woman who's basically out for revenge. The lyrics also have a bit of a sense of humor to it, what with lines like, she had a piece on her breast or something like that. And of course, the music here is very, very bright and fun. Even if it may mismatch with the more weirder, darker implications of the lyrics, it's still very bright and vibrant, especially with the saxophones and the horn sections. If it's basically Elton trying to emulate the kind of Motown feels of something like Supreme Girls or Earth, Wind and Fire. All in all, if you like those kind of jazzy, groovy songs of the 70s and 80s, I say give this one a chance.